welcome to Viking Preparedness. I am Pastor Joe Fox. Welcome to Shofar Mountain. I get a lot of questions, I get a lot of comments, some nice, some not so nice, about my use of the title pastor, Pastor Joe Fox. And they range the gamut, all the way from the outright pagan Satanists, whether they know they are or not, people, and oh, by the way, yes, your spirit comes right through in your words, all the way over to Christians who have never heard a true man of Yah preach the word or act like a man. Right? They're used to their pastors talking in soft tones, and they have the soft hands, and yes, bless you, my child. Okay, well, if that's what you're used to, you're not used to a real man of Yah, a real man of God, and then everything in between. There's people who have come out of the traditions of man that are just infused in Christianity, and they've come to realize that, wow, I've been lied to all these years. Things like steeples, pews, Easter, Christmas, doing the incense and the candles, the pastor wearing the robes, standing up front in front of the pulpit and nobody else can talk except him. Just all these things that have come through Christianity that when people's eyes are open and they come out of that, they're like, I was taught all that by pastors. And so they have this gut dislike of the term pastor, right? And they refuse to use it. I will not call you a pastor. I do get some comments, hey, you rock as a pastor. Great, thank you very much. I try. Here's the deal. Turn in your Bible to Jeremiah 3:15. God, Yahweh is speaking, and he says, I will give you pastors. I will give you pastors after my own heart, who will feed you with knowledge and with understanding. Well, this is a promise. He keeps his promises. The Most High God, Yahweh, says, I will give you pastors after my own heart who will feed you with knowledge and understanding. I'm one of those guys, right? I am here to feed you with knowledge and understanding. Whether or not you eat is entirely up to you, right? But I am held to a standard by him. I am fully aware of that standard, and I try. I try my best to feed you guys with knowledge and understanding. Now, I will give you, who's you? When in that sentence, I will give you pastors. You as his people, Israelites. Probably another video for another time. Who are the Israelites? A lot of people are confused on that. They think it's the Jews. But I will give you. If you are of God, if you are God's children, then he's going to give you pastors who are going to feed you with knowledge and understanding. The implied task for you then is you've got to eat, right? And so that, what's a pastor? In America, English, modern English, we think a pastor like, the guy behind the pulpit with the robes, right? Who tells you, thus saith the Lord. And he's the only one who can talk about God, right? Because he's the pastor. And Americans are like that. Well, that's your area of expertise. You go ahead and tell us. And they're lazy and they don't get into the word themselves, right? But that's what they think of a pastor. But when God, I'll just use terms most of you understand, when he said this, I will give you pastors after my own heart, it didn't sound like that to their ears, because what the word pastor means is shepherd. And so he said, I will give you, my people, my children, shepherds who are after my own heart. They're trying to follow me, right? These shepherds that I'm giving to you, and these shepherds will feed you just like shepherds take the sheep and the goats to different pastures to feed them. They'll feed you with knowledge and understanding. All right, now we all know that he, Yeshua, Jesus, is the good shepherd, right? I am not an intermediary between anybody and him, right? If you are of the Father, if you're a follower of Yeshua, of Jesus, you've got direct access, pow, right? You don't need to go through Pastor Joe Fox. That's not my role. My role is to feed you, to lead you, to guide you. What else do shepherds do? Because that's what a pastor is, a shepherd. They protect the flock, right? That's their job. They keep the wolves at bay. How do they do that? Sometimes they got to use rocks and sticks, right? Or Glocks, right? That's what shepherds do. They protect their people, their flock. And in this case, the flock is people, right? Sheeple. I'm not calling my flock sheeple. But, in a lot of ways, we, including me, including you, are very sheep-like in our behavior. And so that term fits for a lot of us. But that's what I do. I try to protect my flock. Who's my flock? Well, right here on Shofar Mountain, we have a flock we call ourselves Shofarians, right? And I am the pastor, I am the shepherd of this flock of people. Now, we are multifaceted. Yes, we have our religious aspects, right? You know, and I typically bring the message and the word of Yah. Not always, but most of the time it's me doing it. And then we all discuss it. But so I have that flock, and I'm a pastor in that sense, and I'm a shepherd in that sense. But I'm also the shepherd of Shofar Mountain. Right now, that's my role. That's my duty. And we're trying to guide this ship that is Shofar Mountain in a certain course that the Most High has set for us. And right now, that falls on my shoulders to do that. And so in that way, I'm a shepherd. I'm also a shepherd or a pastor to some of you. If you are taking what I'm laying down, you know, if you're eating what I'm trying to feed you, because I am trying to give you knowledge and understanding of a wide variety of things, right? I really am. I want you to be better than you are. And so if you're eating from that, then, you know, I'm your pastor. Is there only one pastor? No. I will give you pastors. I will give you shepherds after my own heart. It's plural, right? So that's what I mean when I use it. I don't mean that I wear a special ring that you need to bow down and kiss, you know, kiss the ring. I don't mean that, you know, I'm the last word on everything and that I know everything. But I have been ordained by the Most High Yah to do what I do, right? So that's what I mean by shepherd. Some of you still hate it. Some of you still, that's fine. Don't listen. I'm not your shepherd then. Go away. Go find another person or be your own shepherd. You know, whatever. I don't care. But that's me. Some of you wanted an explanation of it, and that's what it is. I don't walk around all hoity-toity. I don't think I'm better than you. I just have a different role, perhaps, than you do in this life. All right. I hope I see you out there.